back, folks. Very nice, guys. Very nice. Well, folks, we're back. Now, at the age of 16, my next guest became the hottest porn star in the country since Linda Lovelace. She became a household name when 2 porn producers were indicted for using minors in their films. Now, this drove Traci into seclusion for a year and a half. She resurfaced at age 20, and now she's breaking into legitimate films, and she's ready to tell the story of her nearly impossible transition. Please welcome Traci Lords.
You can leave your house.
Welcome to the Late Show.
Thank you.
Very good to see you. Thank you very much for coming on. Now, first of all, congratulations on breaking into the real film business.
Thank you.
Which I guess, they're both film business, but legitimate film is what it's called.
Yeah, that's what they like to call them.
That's what I guess what they like to call them. Now, I know this is a sensitive issue to talk about, but I was wondering, can we go back to when you're 14 years old? Ordinary? Were you an ordinary 8th grader?
Yeah, I guess I was.
Were you a cheerleader, or did you,
Not really. I was really, really shy when I was younger. And I was from Ohio, so California was very, very different for me. But I was just really quiet and shy and into myself.
Studies? Were you into school much?
Yeah, I was a really good student. I was a B. I could make A's when I wanted to work that hard.
Did you have a favorite subject?
Yeah,
Can you remember? English?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My mother's an English major, so she made me do it.
Oh, she made you do it, okay. But then, now that's, I'd say, 13, 14 years old, just a normal freshman, I guess.
Yeah.
Then at 15 years old, what happened to change your attitude, your outlook on life?
Well, I think a lot of things happened. I could sit here all night and try to tell you the reasons for some of the things that I did, and it still wouldn't be enough time to tell you. That's the reason I'm writing my book, because I think that I have a whole lot of things to say that might help other people from making some of the same mistakes that I made.
And I guess, was it 15 years old? Is that when you left school?
Yeah, I dropped out of school.
You dropped out of school?
I was a sophomore.
At 16 years old?
No, I was 15 when I started.
You started in films? You were 15 years old?
Well, I didn't start in films. I posed for Penthouse when I was 15.
Oh, really? Now that's news to me. I didn't know that. Does Penthouse, is that something that would be typical for them to take a 15-year-old and?
Well, I should hope not.
See, I would hope not either. Did you lie on a release form, or did they even check into it?
The first day I went into the agency, I told my first little white lie, and then that lie just sort of grew. And it just became something that, was just too big to go back. I felt like I was trapped in something, and that I would never really be able to turn around and walk away from it.
Ooh.
And that's how it started.
And that must have been a horrible feeling.
It was a horrible feeling. And it was a tremendous feeling of relief when it was exposed. I mean, I was horrified and I was afraid, but at the same time I felt relieved. I have never told, at least to my knowledge, I try not to ever lie now about anything, just because it's such a clean feeling not to have to remember your lies.
Yeah. Now at 16, 17, I think what people should understand is that Traci Lords was never a hooker.
No, I wasn't a hooker.
You weren't, which might be the normal avenue for somebody getting into film.
You could say that because it's pretty much doing the same thing that a hooker would do.
Yeah, but you didn't walk the streets. You were getting paid good money.
Well, I wouldn't really call it good money either. I would say that, there was a young girl that at 15 I didn't know. I was really naive and I was really shy. But I got involved with a crowd that I really didn't know too much about for a lot of different reasons, attention, rebellion, just a whole number of, normal teenage things. And they just really went to extremes with me. I think
what showed an awful lot of strength from your standpoint was that at some point, at 18 years old, you said, this is wrong. I got to get out.
No, I said that before I was 18.
Did you really?
I said that when I was right about 17. I think what really happened was that I grew up. I was 15, and I'm not trying to make excuses for myself.
Okay.
I don't think that I need to make excuses for myself. What I did, everyone knows about, and really not too much else needs to be said about it. When I was 17, I grew up, and I realized what I was doing, and I wasn't happy with myself.
And then,
I wanted to change. I don't think that... I think that whenever you're not happy with something, you shouldn't cry about it, you shouldn't whine about it, you should change it.
That's so different than, because you know we hear about people in that business who at a young age just commit suicide, to bail out, or that wasn't an option for you.
I thought about that.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Because
I think I would be
it
a
was
liar
so
if
because
I
the
said I
pressure
wasn't.
because the pressure was just so great and these people seemed too big for you, or
Depression and fear, I think.
Hmm.
You know, being that young and feeling like you have no one to go to talk to. You can't go to your parents and tell them what you're feeling. Actually, you could, but when you're in that situation, I didn't think I could. Would have been the best thing I could have done.
Did your mom?
I felt alone.
Did your mom say, "Why didn't you tell me, Tracy?"
Oh, sure. Afterwards, we've had a lot of discussions about it. You could have come to me. I would have helped you. But at the time, I felt like, oh, she's going to be so upset. She's going to hate me. She's not going to love me anymore. But at the same time, I think the reason I did it was to get attention. I know that sounds really strange, but it's true.
Well, and it did bring a lot of attention. Was it fun for a while?
No, not that kind of attention. I never thought that anyone would know what I was doing.
Really?
Yeah, I never thought that they would know. I thought that it was just my secret. And one of these days I could say, well, look at this. But I didn't think that everybody in the world would know.
Well, it's, I guess that's a kind of a, yeah, it's a youth and a kind of a thinking that well, not that many people will really see it anyway,
Yeah.
and I see.
I think I let people around me, too, talk me into believing that no one would ever know.
Yeah. Well, you've made a major transition now, and I want to talk about that when we come back from this break. I want to talk about the transition to legitimate filmmaking, some of the other things you're doing. We'll be back with Traci Lords right after this. We're here with Traci Lords. Traci, when you quit that business, you took a year and a half off, and how were you surviving? How did you pay the rent?
I didn't intentionally take a year and a half off. I mean, I didn't plan when I would make my comeback, or I didn't even know what I was going to do with my life. You know, I just turned 18, and I was confused, and I really didn't know which way to go. But there were a lot of different things that I was starting to find myself more intrigued by. But in the meantime, like you said, I needed to pay my rent. I knew I could become a waitress or get some kind of job like that. But along the way, I ran into an agent from a fashion modeling agency, and he said, you know, you could be a model. And the first thing I thought was, oh, no.
Oh, not a... Don't tell me
those
this.
guys.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. He was legit. And he took me in, and he knew who I was, and he accepted me for that. And he said, well, I know who you are, but I think that you should use your real name, and then that way we won't have to deal with the press and so forth. So I became a fashion model, and I supported myself very well that way. I did a cover 2 months ago in Muscle and Fitness, the cover of Muscle and Fitness. I worked a lot with Joe Weider, and, I've done LA Gear and just numerous ads. And sometimes people will say, well, we don't want to use her because she's done this. And other times they say, okay, well, we don't want to hear about it. We don't know. In other words.
But isn't that a good feeling now to use your real name, to go and do these other things and without the other past haunting you?
Yeah.
I guess
It's good to be a real person.
Yeah, and what you were talking about earlier, where now you don't have to lie about anything anymore. Since the laundry's out, now you can get on with business.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me about the fitness video that you did.
I did a workout video, a Jazzbetics video. Tanya Everett choreographed it. She's on the President's Council of Physical Fitness. And it's a great video because it's no impact at all. It's just all lifting and stretching. Unfortunately, I made it about 9 months ago, and we've had a bit of a problem with it, so it hasn't been released yet. But I'm hoping that everything will be cleared up and it will be released soon.
Good. And the movie? There's a movie in the works, Not of This Earth?
Yeah, I filmed it in November. Roger Corman, Conquered New Horizons.
And you didn't bear a thing in this movie?
I did bear a thing in this movie.
Well, now wait a minute. I thought that you did not. I thought it was
No, you'll see the back of my body. And
the back. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's part of the part.
You might see glimpses of other parts of my body, but it's nothing crude or tasteless at all.
Good.
Just because Roger Corman, his movies are just like that. They have, mean creatures and shapely women. So,
Two of my favorite things, by the way.
Yeah.
Now, and there's a book. There's a Traci Lords book out. Why did you write the book?
There isn't a book out.
I thought you were working on it.
There
I
is
thought
a
you told me
book that I'm working on, yeah.
Oh, okay.
it's not out because I've been having problems getting a publishing deal. I've been
Not after tonight.
Well, the thing is that we have to go with the right publisher, not just any old publisher that'll publish it. And I want certain things with the publishing deal, and I think the book is really important because it'll give me a chance to say a lot of things that people don't understand or know about me, and it'll give other people that maybe are young and naive and just curious, which I think were some of my biggest problems. I was really curious.
Well,
they might read this and decide, no, I don't want to do that. That was really horrible. I mean, at the same way, it's kind of my claim to fame. It's really strange, but if they only knew all the little pieces I had to pick back up, they wouldn't do what I did.
Well, I think you have. You've given people in that situation an opportunity, or at least shown them that you can rise above all that stuff. You know what? I'd like to show a clip from the movie. Can we do that?
Yeah, great.
All right. Well, this is from Not of This Earth.
What is it? I don't think I'd like to know whatever it is. No one from this earth made it.
You think your boss is some kind of man from Mars or something?
I don't care if it's Darth Vader. I'm going to wreck this.
Well, wait, I don't think you should screw around. It might blow up or something.
I never screw around.
Wow. We couldn't bust this with a 20-pound sledge.
Nothing more we can do up here. I'm going to keep looking around. You go down the cellar and see what you can find.
Well, you're not going to go down with me?
Would you go?
Okie doke.
Yes, you're that tough one in that situation, aren't you? Send that little guy away, and you'll take care of business. Well, Traci, I want to thank you very much for coming on The Late Show and telling us your story.
Well, I want to thank you very much for having me.
Good. Traci Lords, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. We're going to be back with music from Jerry Harrison after this.